8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Lavani Vijayatunga. First, we take a look at the headlines. Island-wide power outage has been restored back to normalcy. The CEB General Manager suspects that this island-wide power failure may be an act of sabotage by the trade unions. CEB announces possible short-term power cuts in the next few days. Sri Lanka confirms first Omicron variant case. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa left the island this afternoon to Abu Dhabi to attend the 5th Oceanic Conference. COVID update, 508 new infections and 20 deaths confirmed. In news overseas, Omicron, Biden tightens travel rules amid Omicron cases. And in sports news, Mendes and Ambaldenia spin out West Indies for 2-0 series win. Those were the headlines, and now more to the details of the local news. The power and electricity supply in many parts of the island has been restored, but a few places are still in dark. The Ministry of Power and Energy said that there will be short blackouts in some parts of the country as the Nurecholi coal plant will take a few more days to restore back to normal situation. Main power lines in many areas were interrupted when the power supply broke down in the afternoon. Meanwhile, the General Manager of the Ceylon Electricity Board, M.R. Ranathunga, told the media in the afternoon that he suspects the island-wide power failure may be an act of sabotage by the trade unions. Ranathunga said efforts are underway to restore power in all parts of the country, but since the trade unions were protesting against him, he suspected that the power failure may be a result of sabotage. He, however, said that investigations would be held into the cause of the island-wide blackout, but the priority was to restore power as soon as possible. Mr. Ranathunga further dismissed rumours that a request has been made to the army to take over the restoration of power and said CEB engineers were attempting to restore power supply in all districts within the day. He said, however, there was an attempt by the CEB Engineers Union to delay the restoration. Sri Lanka confirmed its first case of Omicron COVID-19 variant, the Health Promotion Bureau announced today. The virus strain was detected in Sri Lanka in a Sri Lankan national who recently returned to the island on the 24th of November from Nigeria, according to Chief Epidemiologist Dr. Samitha Ginige. The 25-year-old female in question is currently under quarantine. She is reportedly a resident of Maravilla area. In a statement, the Deputy Director General of Health Services, Dr. Hemantha Herath, said Omicron case was detected as a result of the stringent surveillance conducted by the health authorities. He told the general public that this is not a reason to panic or to have any undue fear. Meanwhile, at the media briefing organized by the Presidential Media Center yesterday, the health officials noted that Sri Lanka has an accurate understanding regarding the spread of the new Omicron variant, and the laboratory facilities are available to identify the virus through genetic analysis. South Africa alerted the World Health Organization about a new highly mutant SARS-CoV-2 variant on the 24th of November. More than 30 countries, including the US, UK, Canada and Japan, have since detected the variant. Initial evidence suggests that the Omicron has a higher reinfection risk. However, scientists said it would take at least 3 weeks to know how heavily the mutant variant impacts the effectiveness of various vaccines. As the Omicron continued to spark serious global worry, dozens of countries moved to implement travel restrictions to guard against Omicron variant. Sri Lanka also barred the travel and arrival of foreign travelers who have been to 6 countries in the African continent. Accordingly, passengers with travel history, including transit to South Africa, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, Lesotho and Swaziland within the past 24 days were detained entry into the island nation with effect from midnight on the 28th of November. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa left the island this afternoon to Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, to attend the 5th Oceanic Conference. The conference will focus on environment, economy and climate change. The president had a casual chat with the fellow passengers at the BIA airport. The conference will commence tomorrow. This is the news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Sri Lanka Insurance Motor Plus, the best option.
And we continue with more local news. The Director General of Health Services has confirmed another 20 coronavirus-related deaths for the 2nd of December, increasing the total death toll in the country due to the virus pandemic to 14,419. According to the figures released by the Government Information Department, the deaths reported today include 9 males and 11 females. 6 of the patients are between the ages of 30 to 59 years, while the remaining 14 are in the age group of 60 years and above. Meanwhile, the Health Ministry said 508 more persons have tested positive for COVID-19. This brings the total number of COVID-19 cases confirmed in the country to 565,979. The State Literary Awards ceremony was held this afternoon at the BMICH under the patronage of State Minister Vidura Vikramanayake. The ceremony was organized for the 63rd time. This was jointly organized by the Ministry of Buddha Sasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs, Cultural Department, State Literary Advisory Council and Sri Lanka Arts Council. 78 state awards and 6 literary awards were presented at the occasion. And to conclude the local news, the headlines once again. Island-wide power outage has been restored back to normalcy. The CEB General Manager suspects that the island-wide power failure may be an act of sabotage by the trade unions. CEB announces possible short-term power cuts in the next few days. Sri Lanka confirms first Omicron variant case. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa left the island this afternoon to Abu Dhabi to attend the 5th Oceanic Conference. COVID update, 508 new infections and 20 deaths confirmed. And that was the local news.
In 200 meters, turn left.
This is not just my daily commute. I drive to power my nation's future. Sri Lanka Insurance Motor Plus introduces specialized motor insurance for you who drive our nation forward. Choose tailor-made insurance solutions. Up to 75,000 rupees claim settlements within 3 working hours. Exclusive discounts through Motor Plus loyalty rewards. Easy and 0% interest payment plans. Only from Sri Lanka Insurance.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The main news story for tonight. Green Agriculture Implementation Center will be established to make the dream of Green Nation a reality. Army Commander and Chief of Defence Staff General Shavendra Silva said the present method introduced in the country can be considered as a pioneer method to achieve this goal. The Army Commander said the President used to convene a meeting of Green Nation Building Steering Committee every 2 weeks. The meeting focuses on ways and means to make this country a green nation. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life is brought to you by
Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission.
And in Watchlight tonight, health authorities have requested the public to follow the health guidelines strictly as the corona infections crossed the 700 mark during the last 2 weeks. Director General of Health Services, Dr. Asela Gunawardana said it is a high risk for the public to get involved with large gatherings or get-togethers. He requested the public to refrain from travelling between the provinces. He pointed out that 600 to 750 corona patients are still being reported daily from the country. Therefore, he emphasized that the pandemic can spread again rapidly if the public acts irresponsibly. And that came to you in Watchlight.
Select technical and vocational courses with proper guidance. Visit regional career guidance centers or visit nearest district divisional secretariat offices and meet career guidance practitioners or skills development officers. Be aware on unregistered institute which promote widely. Don't waste your valuable time and money. Visit www.tvec.gov.lk for more information. Message from Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission.
Coming up, World News.
Headlines of the World News. COVID update. First data points to Omicron reinfection risk. Thailand newspaper rebuked over hunts Africans headline. Omicron Biden tightens travel rules amid new Omicron cases. Those are the headlines, and now more to the details of the world news. The first real-world data showing the coronavirus variant Omicron may evade some or most of our immunity system has been reported by the scientists in South Africa. Scientists have detected a surge in the number of people catching COVID multiple times. It is a rapid analysis and not definitive, but fits with the concern about the mutations the variant possesses. It is also not clear what this means for the protection given by the vaccines. The central government agency tasked with managing Thailand's COVID-19 response has reprimanded a local newspaper for its poor choice of headline. The Bangkok Post, which had run the headline, "Government Hunts for African Visitors," on its first page and website. Thai officials have been attempting to trace 783 travelers who have arrived from various African countries since November 15th. President Joe Biden has unveiled stricter COVID-19 travel rules as the U.S. confirmed a handful of cases of the Omicron variant from coast to coast. From next week, international travelers to the U.S., including Americans, must take a COVID test no more than 1 day before travel, regardless of vaccination status. Those recently recovered may provide proof of recovery documents instead. Masks requirements on planes, trains and buses will be extended until mid-March. And to conclude the world news, the headlines once again. COVID update, the first data points to Omicron reinfection risk. Thailand newspaper rebuked over hunt Africans headline. Biden tightens travel rules amid new Omicron cases. And that was the world news.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take all out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
And in development news, a project to develop Athimale town under the concept 100 Town Development to Build the Nation commenced yesterday. A sum of 20 million rupees has been set aside for this purpose. Under this project, the road network and the weekly market complex will be renovated. Drinking water facilities for 14 Grama Seva Vasam will be provided. And that came to you in the segment of development news.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Moving on with sports news.
In cricket news, Sri Lanka showed a splendid performance on field today to beat West Indies by 164 runs. Ramesh Mendes struck early in the day to remove Craig Brathwaite, claiming 3 wickets in a single over during the middle session, then completed the second 5-wicket haul of the match, while Lasith Ambuldennia also took 5 at the end of the day. Between the two finger spinners, they dismissed Windies for 132 inside 56 overs. Sri Lanka's winning margin was 164. Having now whitewashed this opposition, they were taking 100% of the World Test Championship points on offer for this series. West Indies had needed to bat out 93 overs after Sri Lanka declared in their innings 2.4 overs into the day. Although during the time in the morning session, it seemed as if they were going to make the hosts toil, Windies fell away rapidly after lunch, losing their last 8 wickets for 40 runs in the space of 13 overs. And the scoreboard, Sri Lanka made 204 in their first innings and declared their second innings for 345 for 9 wickets. In reply, West Indies made 253 in their first essay and were bowled out for a mere 132 in their second innings. That was the sports news. Business news coming up.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U-Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
In business news, Sri Lanka Tourism at Expo 2020 Dubai records having earned $124,000 worth media coverage presenting destinations in Sri Lanka at the Sri Lanka Pavilion on CNN Arabia, CNBC, Sky, Dubai TV, Abu Dhabi TV and Sharjah TV, alongside being featured in the College Times and numerous magazines, periodicals and newspapers, carrying over 40 articles in just 2 months from the commencement of the exhibition. Sri Lanka Pavilion's success is due to the efforts of 8 government agencies: Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau, Export Development Board, Ceylon Tea Board, National Gem and Jewellery Authority, Luxor, Sri Lankan Airlines, Port City, and the Board of Investment, working in harmony with the able support of the Consular Office in Dubai under the guidance of the Sri Lankan Ambassador to the United Arab Emirates based in Abu Dhabi. Sri Lanka Tourism leads the efforts where a touristic perspective is taking frontline in the presentations. That was the business news. Economic news follows.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
Economic news, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
And in economic news, Marubeni Corporation's executive management team for Asia visited Sri Lanka to negotiate an investment opportunity for 200 megawatts Manar wind power project. During the visit, the team met with President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and Minister of Finance. The Marubeni Corporation, with revenues of $67 billion and a history spanning 160 years, specializes in renewable energy, textiles and agricultural related businesses. That was economic news and the weather report to conclude.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
This is the weather report.
And finally, the weather report. The Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the Sabaragamuwa, Central, Uva, Southern and Western provinces during the evening or night. Mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the Western, Uva, Central and Sabaragamuwa provinces during the morning hours. This weather report was published this evening at 7:30 p.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. Meanwhile, the International Weather Forecast website AccuWeather.com reports that day's weather was observed to be bright with occasional showers. Today's daytime temperature was around 28 degrees Celsius. There will be light showers in many places in the Colombo district in the night. Tonight's temperature will be around 23 degrees Celsius and there will be scattered showers in selected spots late in the night. The ground temperature would be around 24 degrees Celsius at the time of this news broadcast. The air quality index is 25, which shows fair condition in Colombo. The air quality is generally acceptable for most individuals. However, sensitive groups may experience minor to moderate symptoms for long long-term exposure. And before we conclude this bulletin of news, let's get back to the headlines once again. Island-wide power outage has been restored back to normalcy. The CEB general manager suspects that the island-wide power failure may be an act of sabotage by the trade unions. CEB announces possible short-term power cuts in the next few days. Sri Lanka confirms first Omicron variant case. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa left the island this afternoon to Abu Dhabi to attend the 5th Oceanic Conference. COVID update, 508 new infections and 20 deaths confirmed. In news overseas, Biden tightens travel rules amid new Omicron cases. And in sports news, Mendes and Abel spin out West Indies for 2-0 series win. And with that, we conclude this bulletin of news.